This call is being recorded.
All right. So, yeah, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions
Okay.
whatsoever. One moment, real quick. Um, can you hear me here?
Yes.
All right. And then if I put this on, do I sound like shifty or anything?
Like crackly a little bit.
It does sound correctly. Okay. Um, let me.
Are you talking to me and I don't hear you?
Oh my God! I didn't even realize I muted that as well. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're straight. You're straight.
getting
Yeah, basically, my apologies. So, yeah, I was talking about your alien construct articles. I do have a link in when you download this recording, you will see a link that has a excerpt to these. So I put a Plutonian instrument alien that can, of course, identify enemies, bring about irreversible change. Then we have Neptune and Sagittarius that can ascend, be mystical with the power Neptunian alien, assist the dying in crossing over. What Neptune and Sagittarius will represent is a clairvoyant portal. So it enables you in Sagittarius to, through nonlinear means, right? Our brains collect information, but Neptune is just, sensing intuitively the higher meaning of a situation. On top of already having the sun in Sagittarius, making you the true seer. So the Gemini moon Sag sun is the true seer. It's the angelic creator. You are the true meaning of every experience. Because Gemini is the word, and then Sagittarius is what the word in the dictionary means. So it's like you have the soul of the word, you have an angel soul at your core, you understand the truth, you can listen to people's speech patterns. You can, and I love aspects like this because it's literally impossible to lie to you. If someone lies, your Gemini moon be like, that's not true. And then, if someone's trying to like show you the different meanings and trying to play you, your Sag already sees through it. And then you have the Virgo square, like you can bring the analysis if they need receipts. You're very disciplined and can expand how analytically you take action, which is very, very, very interesting. Because I wouldn't say obsessive compulsive, but there's definitely a very rigorous way you in a sense can.
This call is being recorded.
All right. So, yeah, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions
Okay.
whatsoever. One moment, real quick. Um, can you hear me here?
Yes.
All right. And then if I put this on, do I sound like shifty or anything?
Like crackly a little bit.
It does sound crackly. Okay. Um, let me.
Are you talking to me and I don't hear you?
Oh my God, I didn't even realize I muted that as well. I apologize.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
no,
I'm
you're straight. You're straight.
getting
Yeah, basically, my apologies. So, yeah, I was talking about your alien construct articles. I do have a link in the when you download this recording, you will see a link that has a excerpt to these. So I put a Plutonian instrument alien that can, of course, identify enemies, bring about irreversible change. Then we have Neptune and Sagittarius that can ascend, be mystical with the power Neptunian alien, assist the dying in crossing over. What Neptune and Sagittarius will represent is a clairvoyant portal. So it enables you in Sagittarius to, through nonlinear means, right? Our brains collect information, but Neptune is just, sensing intuitively the higher meaning of a situation. On top of already having the sun in Sagittarius, making you the true seer. So the Gemini moon Sag sun is the true seer. It's the angelic creator. You are the true meaning of every experience. Because Gemini is the word, and then Sagittarius is what the word in the dictionary means. So it's like you have the soul of the word, you have an angel soul at your core. You understand the truth. You can listen to people's speech patterns. You can, and I love aspects like this because it's literally impossible to lie to you. If someone lies, your Gemini moon be like, that's not true. And then, if someone's trying to like show you the different meanings and trying to play you, your Sag already sees through it. And then you have the Virgo square, like you can bring the analysis if they need receipts. You're very disciplined and can expand how analytically you take action, which is very, very, very interesting. Because I won't say obsessive compulsive, but there's definitely a very rigorous way you in a sense can really uncover facts that are hidden from others. You can analyze it in people's behavior, and it's because of how you can truly show people the meaning of said experiences. So Neptune in its proximity creates once again a non-linear nature with which you're able to see beyond the physical into its higher meaning. Okay, then Pluto's on your rising, which makes you very intimidating to people who are full of crap and may be impure. You may not even be angry, but they look in your eyes and they're like, okay, we shouldn't mess with her. You know what I mean? Especially if they have negative energy or whatever. And then Mercury on Uranus means that you think like a genius detective that gets to the bottom of every situation. And it represents the unconventional social value that you have. You have wisdom because the Libra rising is the artist. Your title is that of activist, but with Pluto, you bring destruction. You bring awakening of these social themes, right? Of these social spaces. You embody this I don't even want to say transformation, but you embody this more deconstruction of one's character, or of the social space. But that being said, it's interesting because you were born on a full moon with the Libra signature, and you have the Libra rising, which I don't think is a coincidence. So, in looking at the transit forecast, right, you're very much so classic while being magic. When I see Sun and Moon in mutable signs, you're magic at a soul level, at a spiritual level, high magic. So now Jupiter, since May of last year, has gone through your moon, Gemini, right? It has expanded the natural quality of your intimacy and expanded what more you trust communicating with people. Because now that it is in Cancer in the ninth house region, you're now getting ready to expand the higher meaning of what is true in your life, how you show people the higher meaning of truth. As you embody justice, you embody fairness as a Libra rising. So Gemini is going to be how you show people the higher meaning of truth. And then with the third house Sagittarius, you're communicating and really showing others your attitude and mindset, which with Neptune is abstract. It's going to really take into account the colorful nature of your imagination. And I would also say it represents ascended skill sets. So Sun and Neptune on the second house is your ability to manifest through visualization, but it also represents an actual like supernatural skill. It's like you can put on glasses that show you into the spiritual realm, and like you could put these glasses on and you see someone's head is like a snake, and you're like, oh, you're a snake. And people are like, oh, that's delusional, but you're right every time. You know what I mean? So that's magic. You know what I mean? That's definitely I definitely do want to highlight that. That's definitely very, very, godly, or it's a unique element of being able to perceive. So this is very significant once again because we know that you have a nodal opposition at present, and that's why I've been reading charts of 78 to 82 recently, and you guys are going through a Saturn opposition and a Uranus opposition. So Saturn has left Pisces since, of course, 2008, where you had your Saturn return. You have harvested this for the first time. Over the next 7 years, from I would say 2024 to like 2032, you're going to be completing that karmic chapter. And then Uranus that you have in Scorpio, it's finally opposing in Taurus. That is a huge milestone. I'm born 1990, so we have Uranus in Capricorn. We're not going to come into that opposition until like 2033, 2034. So it's a really good look. It represents now the innovative quality with which you've been building since birth, and how unconventional your wisdom is and how genius your brain gets to the bottom and core root of the value of where you're at or just anything you manifest. Uranus in the eighth now automates the ascertainment of wealth in the eighth house, of other people's money, being able to invest in channels that bring immediate returns. I think this opposition is going to secure passive income and wealth in a way that takes into account what you've built up until this point your whole life, which I think is amazing, versus Saturn that's going through your sixth house over the next 2.5 years, which is going to now discipline your lifestyle. It's going to, of course, add more authority over how you own your day-to-day routine. And the reason why that's very amazing is, of course, the North Node eclipse we had in March coincided with Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node in Pisces. So let me actually show you that. I'm going to use a different share screen so we can also look at the transits. So basically, if we go back, let's say a few months ago, this is where, of course, we had the eclipse. So we had Saturn, Sun, North Node, Neptune, all within this sixth house region. And what that represented was a once in a lifetime unlocking of, with Saturn, the totality of everything you believe, and will transcend with Neptune, that represents in the sixth house how you're meant to live your life. So, of course, with Pisces, it's representing what belief systems back in March of this year did you begin to unlock? Because now, since 2023, and by the way, if you wish to interrupt at any point, please don't hesitate. I think, I forgot to tell you that. But basically, this was when Saturn began to transit the fifth house portion ruled by the sixth house. And 2023 was where you started to form these belief systems with everyone else around the world. But of course, by 2025, you began to unlock realistically everything that you're meant to believe with the North Node, right? In order to unlock your dream life. This is for every Libra rising, but it's more exact for you on the sixth house cusp. It's going to represent the belief systems that you have that formulate how it is you work your routine, how it is you, of course, transcend the nature of your fantasies. Because Neptune is going to bring a fantastical element to where you, over the next 6 months, will manifest your dream life. And the reason why that was important is because now we've gone through Gemini season, which was the checkpoint between the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, which we know is your 6th house to 12th house, okay? So this checkpoint in Gemini is going to represent the philosophical approach that Jupiter has expanded since last year, May of 2024, and has now reached and broken through past your 9th house. So your behavior integrate your attitude in the 3rd house, the vision of your attitude becomes the belief of your routine and behavior in the 6th, and then the belief of your behavior and how you believe you should live your life becomes your thought process around the higher meaning of how your behavior becomes your way of life, of how you begin to teach this. And with Jupiter going through your 9th, this can give you amazing opportunities for higher education, to teach, to learn higher courses, to travel, all right? Because now the belief of how you want to live your life, now up through Gemini season, you've integrated thoughts that support these beliefs. You've been able to put these in words, and that's going to prepare you for Virgo. By the time you get into Virgo season, now you're going to analyze in the 12th house how, over the 6 months of March, everything that you believed you can live, it's real now in September. And you're going to replace unconscious habits, an old way of analyzing how you should live your life, because you have now imagineered this. The first part was from March until June, and then the next part is going to be from June to September. So we're going to talk about that June to September period, coming back into your birthday. And this is where you have a lot to also look forward to, because now since 2017, coming into 2018, when Jupiter last went through your first house, before 2019 when it evolved your spirit, you're getting ready to complete this cycle of evolution. As by June of next year, Jupiter is going to be in your MC in the 10th, and it's going to expand every career opportunity, adding more liquidity and potency, bringing in a completion of everything you started late 2017. And it was last year, while Jupiter was opposite your sun, you've evolved your soul space, so you've expanded what more you could be receptive to, what more truth you can feel, and the magic that you sense. And then also it harvested 2019's conjunction with your sun to now expand what more you communicate your vision towards others, transforming, setting up wealth. So while Jupiter is going through your ninth house, this is like a rising star year. It's going to expand more notoriety. It's going to expand more that you can do, especially as you get to the journey to this 10th. And I think what's also very interesting here, especially when looking at Mars that's ahead of time going into Virgo, Mars that's gone through Leo is already the last couple of months had you set up a venue or an event. So in August, when the sun goes into Leo, it's like you performing at an event. But while Mars was going through there, it was taking action in these social spaces to set up the venue. And then Mercury's going to go retrograde through there coming into to July. That's going to reevaluate, your goals, how it is you want to put yourself out there. And while that's happening, you're going through a Mars return right now. Mars is going to be eventually 5 degrees. So while we're going through Cancer season to really activate this new conjunction, you're already going to begin unlocking everything you're meant to release so that you can make way for your dream life. How is it moving forward? I have to change my habits to align with what I believe I'm meant to live. And hopefully with Neptune that's influencing the 6th, these dreams are unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? These dreams are like way bigger than what's possible, because this is going to really put you in the direction to make it real. And I would say from maybe March till June was waiting through how realistic is this? But now that we've broken through June, you're starting to see what's more possible about it. And then you're going to be aware of how it is that made it happen. So yeah, that being said, Mars in Virgo is producing more analytical action function. And by the time the sun is in Leo in August, you're going to be aware of all the work you've done to set this up last month. And then when the sun is in Virgo in September, you're going to be aware of what actions Mars is returning in now aligned with your destiny, so that you're, of course, analyzing strategically the actions that are meant to be taken with the people around your corner. And this is where, as a Sagittarius sun, the Virgo season transits are Capricorn signature to your Sag sun, which indicates success. And it's going to really now transcend your awareness of how success plays out for you. But of course, in between then, we know that we're going to have the Sun-Jupiter conjunction. And that new moon that we have is actually going to be falling in the 9th house, okay, ruled by the 10th. So this is going to be the sneak peek. I'm going to show you what this is going to look like next year. By next year, Jupiter in June is going to be 29 degrees Cancer. So this is preparing you for a brand new completion. And just, over the next 3 years from 2026, coming into the accomplishments and the rewards of what you've started since late 2017. So just that alone is very exciting. But of course, as we can see, this year we're going to have the square to Saturn and Neptune, and this is where the expansion that's going to begin to expand your philosophy, that's going to begin to expand elements of your career, that's going to begin to expand, why you feel what you feel and what direction you're taking this is going to clash with your lifestyle. So it's like everything that you believed you're meant to live Now in Aries, it's calling for you to discipline the action towards there. And just like the Cancer ninth is connected to the 10th of career, the Aries sixth of lifestyle is connected to the seventh house of relationships, because eventually Saturn will be across your cusp. And once it reaches the end of Aries, I want to say like 2027, which we can show you here, Saturn's not going to really reach your seventh house cusp until, of course, 2027. That's when you're going to go on 2.5 years of upgrading the standards of partnerships. This Saturn through the seventh could bring marriage, divorce, business partnerships, but it's going to begin preparing you ahead of time now by disciplining your lifestyle to support relationships that align with how disciplined and gangster you're living your life. So any way with which these new expansions disorganize you will be limited, but any way with which your discipline limits this expansion towards your success, that's also going to be put in check. So that's really the pressure there. It's anchoring this authority over how you're going to be taking actions to really discipline and master your lifestyle in a way that could be now integrated into an expansive philosophy that allows you to do more in preparation to gain massive success and massive victory. So of course, once we go through this Cancer season this year, I could also show you. Oh no, I could also show you 6 months from now, where by the end of the year, give or take, Jupiter will already make it close to your 10th house. It's gonna retrograde at like 25 degrees, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it's gonna retrograde so close to that 10th house cusp. It's going to be 25 degrees, a degree away from the 10th. So it's going to really color the ninth. And what you want to see is that with the conjunction in a few days, it's like you're expanding the let's say it was like a bowl. You're expanding the bowl that represents how much more you can fuel. And then as Jupiter goes from, of course, 1 degree to 25 degrees, you're filling in that bowl with water, because now it was already filled, but it expanded. And then, of course, it's going to retrograde, it's going to purify the water, and then it's going to go direct, and it's going to finish filling out that bowl. So this is going to really coming into, of course, as we can see, November, right, where it's going to start to purify through the retrograde. This, of course, for you is going to be when you're aware of your first house. You're going to be aware of how you're transforming and manifesting this transformation of quality and innovating, the pure nature of yourself, while Jupiter is reevaluating, okay, now that I've expanded more what I can potentially accomplish, how does that change how I feel about myself? And how, moving into Sagittarius season, do I apply this change into my vision? Because everything that we've done Gemini season, in 6 months from now, we're going to harvest the meaning of that's going to directly impact your finances and your attitude. All right. And we see a Venus in Capricorn, which is very grounded. It's a heart of integrity. It makes this grand Earth trine with your natural healing in Chiron, which Uranus has innovated, and also Mars and Jupiter and Virgo, which represents this social organizational element. I actually appreciate this because me personally, I have Taurus. I have an abundance of Taurus. I have an abundance of Capricorn, but I have no Virgo. I just look oblivious in the social space. I don't know how to put it all together, and I didn't realize how crucial Virgo is, because it gives you this social, when it comes to like the details and the social nuances. Like I'll have the money with Taurus, and then I'll have the direction of what to do with it, but I didn't know Virgo was haggling. You know what I'm saying? So I get finessed in the market because it's like, no, I'm not going to pay that, or it's just dealing with real social dynamics. So I see you have more of the focus there, which once again speaks a lot about you and how well you're able to maneuver and privately affect the community and society around you. So of course, as of this point, by the time we get into Leo, this is going to give you a sneak peek of the success you're going to come into next year when the South Node goes into your 11th and Jupiter goes into Leo. Okay. Of course, the North Node from September of 2025 to the North Node in Pisces of March of 2026. Once we get into September, is going to kick off the eclipse we started in March of 2025. You're going to now analyze